So throughout this module, we had a look at a lot of important basics you have to know when working with React Native. You learned about these core components which you import from React Native and that you only can work with these core components. You can build your own components, but these components then in turn also have to be based on these built-in core components or on other custom components which then are based on these core components. That is really crucial. You have to use these core components. And you can style these core components with the help of inline styles or a style sheet as we're doing it here. In the end, all the styling, of course, happens with JavaScript because that's all just JavaScript code here. It's a JavaScript object in the end to which we're then pointing here when we're assigning a style. And in general, you control your entire UI with JavaScript. This part here, the view, so the elements you're building here, this is the part which React Native will compile to native code. This part up here, your other JavaScript code, that will stay JavaScript code. That will not be compiled. Instead, that will run in this virtual machine, which I showed you in section 1 of this course, and will then talk to the native code through a special bridge set up by React Native. Now, and other than that, we used normal React features. We're using props to pass data around. We're using state here with useState, the useState hook to use functional components only. You could have converted this to a class-based component to use setState there and use state in there, as you probably learned it about class-based components. But I want to use this very modern React syntax, and hence I use React hooks. And with that, we got the basics set. Now, of course, besides the official docs, which are always worth a look if you want to learn more about a specific component, we'll dive much deeper into these components we used here, into styling, and in the next section, we'll also have a look at how you can debug such an application before we then build a different app, a more beautiful app already, where we then dive also into questions like how you can adjust your app to different device sizes, how you can style your widgets, your components with in a bit of a nicer way, and also how you can adjust your styles or your layout to the different platforms, so iOS or Android you're running on.